I've been singing since I could talk, maybe even before. What I love about singing is that it fills something in my soul that other things can't. It's like just a part of my identity. It's who I am, it's what I do. I used to think that was the most important thing about me. Well, growing up, I never knew who Jesus was. And I had really great times in my life and then really, really low times. And it wasn't until I had tried everything else. Chemical things, people, jobs, money. I tried all the things until I didn't know what to try anymore. There has to be something else. So I tried Jesus. And that's the only thing that worked. When I truly found Jesus, it was like aha moment. I finally found the answer. I found the secret to true fulfillment and hope. But I feel like what finding Jesus really does is prepare you for the valleys that are going to inevitably come. Well, I've known since I was itty bitty that I was meant to sing. I was meant to use my voice in some capacity. But even more so than that, I know that I was meant to be a mama. So in 2017, I got married to my husband, and about a year and a half after we got married, we started trying to have a baby, and it's been almost 7 years of trying, and it just has not happened yet. We kind of went through all the testing and all that stuff that you can do. Everything always comes out to seem like it's fine. No answers as to why not. And it's very frustrating. It's devastating. Every month that you find out you're not gonna be a mom, because I know I'd be really good at it, and I know that I want that more than anything in the whole world. When the worst thing I could think about would be losing my voice and never being able to sing again, but I would sacrifice everything in my life to have a baby. So in the midst of everything going on fertility-wise, in the fall of 2023, I suddenly noticed some really weird physical symptoms. My face was numb, I was having trouble swallowing, I would feel like there's lightning bolts going through my body, my knees buckling. And so I began to see every kind of specialist you can think of. And the neurologist at the time told me that I was having anxiety attacks. So to just go home and take a chill pill. For the next 6 to 9 months, I seemed to get progressively worse. It was awful. And then one morning, I woke up paralyzed. All of a sudden, I could not move. I couldn't walk. I could not use my hands. So we went into the emergency room, and the only reason that they finally took me seriously in the hospital was because they had found that I, at some point, had had a stroke, but they were convinced that that was not having an effect on what was going on currently. At first, nobody knew what was going on, even remotely. And so it was the unknown was the most unsettling, scary part. I was in the hospital for a month in acute rehab, relearning how to walk, relearning how to feed myself, how to hold a cup. It felt like a prison. I could not do a darn thing. Needless to say, that medical journey seems to be lasting for a long time. I am so far a bit of a medical mystery, but my neurologist thinks that we're closer to some kind of a diagnosis. Every 3 weeks, I get an infusion called IVIG. It is very, very, very expensive liquid, but that keeps me upright, and it has been a godsend. And to be honest with you, If I wouldn't have had Jesus in my life throughout all this, if I didn't know that Jesus loves me so much, I just would have lived a really, really dark, sad, hopeless life. And whether he makes me walk and sing again, or whether he gives me a baby or doesn't give me a baby, that that he still loves me, and that whatever he has in store for me, I know that there's a reason for that. And I'm gonna have a really great rest of my life. It's a broken world and it can get pretty ugly. But the fact that I know a God that sent down his son Jesus to be crucified, to go through excruciating pain, to save me, that's unfathomable. That kind of love. Back in 2015, I sang the song Because He Lives for Easter here at Eagle Brook. And revisiting that song now, it has a much deeper meaning for me. Because in the past year, it didn't seem like there was too much to live for at times. But the simple fact of the matter is that life is worth living because he lives. Because Jesus died for me. And I know that he's going to use this for something.
God sent his son. They called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He bled and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know he holds the future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. And then one day I'll cross the river, I'll fight life's final war with pain. And then as death gives way to victory, I'll see